Hey everybody, welcome again to another installment of Keep My Five Alive. Today I want to show you a product I've got that I don't know, it goes along with my less expensive, I don't want to say cheaper, but less expensive stuff that just trying to show you there's no need to necessarily spend a ton of money. You can get less expensive things than all these high-end name brand stuff. So yeah, we're gonna do that, and I just want to talk to you for a minute about people that think we're weird, or that think that what we do is weird. So let's get right into that. So what I want to show you is, I keep it in here. I'm not showing you this. Everybody's seen this thing. They're inexpensive, nice little cook set. I do keep both of my cups in here because what I'm going to show you fits right in it. It's like the MSR stoves. Comes in its own little plastic case. Fits in there very nicely. Show this to you closer here. And it is a little stove. Got a little, that's your control valve, your flow control valve. And then the legs on this thing, you just pull one and they all come around with it. And then you can flip them out. And honestly, I have not had occasion to use this. Got an igniter too. Haven't had occasion to use this. This will be the first time I'll be using it. So let's see what happens with it. I'm going to do kind of the same thing I did with boiling the water with the mini survival stove. And just going to set a timer and see how long this takes to boil 2 cups of water, give or take 2 cups of water. Let's see what happens. So you have to use these fuel canisters. Just pop the little top off of it and it screws right on there. It's a self-sealing canister. So you can just take it back off. You don't have to worry about it leaking. This works just like the MSR stove. And I'll tell you the huge difference. The MSR stove is $45. I got this on Wish for 12 bucks. Yes, and I know I mentioned Wish a lot. And Wish, apparently has cheap stuff or whatever, but I haven't got anything from them yet that I have not been satisfied with. I actually got my smartwatch from them. It's not like these high-end Samsung smartwatches that you don't have to have your phone with you. It does have to stay connected to my phone, but it works just fine, just like everything else I've got from Wish. So it takes a while to get them though, by the way. I think I waited a month for this to actually arrive. But yeah, let's see what happens. You can buy, this is a Gigapower fuel canister, and they say you should keep these in your pack or inside your coat and keep them warm in the wintertime. This has been sitting outside. It's a little cool, but what happens is as it gets colder, the pressure goes down inside it, and then you don't have the same amount of pressure, so it probably wouldn't work as well, I guess. But I think it's gonna be okay. It wasn't that cold last night, so let's see what happens here. I do kind of wish these little legs would lock into position. I don't know if they're supposed to or not. I don't know how that's supposed to work, but once you set a pot on there or whatever, it would be fine. Let's see how this goes. So I'm just going to set it down. You can get, like I say, you can get legs for this to stabilize it, I guess, if you were putting bigger stuff on it. All right, so we're going to open the valve. Oh, gas is coming out. Took a couple tries. All right, so let me get to my handy dandy stopwatch here. And we will put this on here. Hopefully it'll stay. Not the most level ground. We're gonna cut that bad boy up. See how long that takes to boil water. Alright, so what I want to talk to you about, probably put the lid on it, make it boil faster, but I'm not really concerned about all that. I want to talk about people that think this is weird. And maybe it does seem weird to some people. People that don't, I guess, know any better, or however you want to say that. But all this survival gear, maybe not all of it, maybe we have too much stuff. Maybe I don't need 3 of the mini survival stoves and one of these, and maybe I don't need a bag for me and a bag for my wife and a bag for each one of the kids, and maybe I don't need all the food storage and stuff like that. But I tell you what, not to steal anybody's thunder, but survival is no accident. You survive on purpose. If you are not prepared for stuff to happen, if it does happen, you're going to be assed out. You're going to be SOL. And I don't want that to happen. That's why my channel is Keep My 5 Alive. It's not keep me alive. My goal is to be able to keep my whole family alive. If we have to leave our house because of a hurricane, flood, whatever, or even if we have to stay in the house. Most people don't keep enough food in their pantry to last them for weeks. I mean, most people I know buy their groceries a week at a time, maybe 2 weeks at a time. I don't know anybody that buys their groceries a month at a time, 2 months at a time, or keeps a month or 2 months worth of groceries in their pantry. I don't know anybody that does that. Yeah, you have your stuff that carries over. Of course, everybody's got something in the back of their pantry that they haven't used in forever. I've got a case of ramen noodles in the pantry that is not considered, to me, not considered part of my emergency preparedness items, but it's there. Could use it if I needed to. And I tell you what, if it does come down to that, my family is going to survive. My close friends, if they're part of my, if they're a group of my good friends, part of the network. I don't want to say network because we don't really have a network, but I can think of at least one buddy that I'd probably try to hook up with, because he may not have the food storage and stuff, but he has a lot of defensive items. Let's just put it that way. And yeah, it's something that's recommended. If you look at government guidelines, you look at FEMA, you look at the Red Cross, they recommend, I think the Red Cross says 3 days worth of stuff. I feel like, and I probably should have looked this up, but I feel like FEMA says a week. But even these agencies, of course, they're government, so however you feel about the government is how you feel about the government. But they recommend that you have stuff to survive for a minimum of 3 days. Let's just go with 3 days. So I've got 2 weeks worth of stuff, give or take. I'd like to have a month worth of stuff, but now that I've got the 2 weeks worth of stuff, I can slow down on what I'm purchasing. I don't have to go out and get all this stuff. Of course, I didn't have to start with, I guess you could say. But I started with 3 3-day survival kits, food, emergency preparedness kits, and it's just grown from there. And I feel like my family would be okay for at least 2 weeks. Maybe that's weird to some people, but you know what? If we ever needed that stuff, it wouldn't be so weird anymore, now would it? Don't get me wrong, I'm not a end of days prepper. I don't think the world's coming to an end. I'm not certain there's economic collapse coming. I'm not certain there's an EMP coming. Nobody's certain about any of this stuff. You can't be. You just can't. But I am certain that hurricanes come up the East Coast. I live here in the Richmond, Virginia area, and we don't get them all the time, but occasionally we get a pretty bad hurricane. And I can remember a handful of years ago when, not me necessarily, but I know people that were without power for a week or more. And they were eating out every night and spending tons of money just trying to survive. I've already done that. We don't, when hurricanes are coming, when blizzards are coming, which I personally love. I'm a snow guy. I personally love the cold. I love blizzards and things. But we don't run to the grocery store. Well, we don't have to run to the grocery store. We will go pick up some stuff, but if for whatever reason we couldn't make it, we'd be okay. You're not gonna get a snowstorm in Richmond, Virginia that lasts for 2 weeks. Some places you do. I understand that. I have friends that live in Alaska and Nebraska, places where it's cold and they get snow and it stays there. And much as I like the snow, that would suck. I don't think I could live in a place like that. However, that generally doesn't happen here. Hurricane can come through, knock the power for a few days. I've got camping stoves, I've got survival stoves, we've got emergency shelters. If a tree fell on my house, and let's say a tree fell on my house, my father-in-law's house, my father's house, and nobody had any kind of place to go, we didn't have a friend to go stay with, we have shelter. We would be okay. And that's my whole goal in this. And people that think it's weird, just, I guess haven't thought about that kind of thing. My water is boiling here. We are at 5 minutes and 40 seconds. That is half the time that it took for one of those camping stoves to boil water. And I used 2 fuel cubes. I don't remember the exact specs on these fuel canisters, but I saw somewhere that I think it was at least 20 boils. I want to say 25, but I think it was at least 20 boils. And as you can see, this thing's hot as heck now, of course. But as you can see, this stove here from Wish for $12 or $13 or whatever it was, I don't even remember, worked just fine. You do not need to buy a $45 MSR stove. It's just not necessary. My comparison to this would be Snap-on tools. You don't need a $300 set of wrenches. I used, for my whole career in the shop, I used gear wrenches. I have some Snap-on sockets and stuff. I bought them when they were on special, but it's the same kind of comparison. My gear wrenches, never had a problem with them. I broke them every now and then. I was too hard on them. I was the guy that was going to try to break stuff, and I broke them. But it didn't break when I was first tried to break it. It was usually, a long time down the road. I don't want to say months, but a year down the road or whatever. And it wouldn't break to where it wasn't usable. But the gear wrenches, they have the ratcheting mechanism. Well, not all of them, but a lot of the gear wrenches have the ratcheting mechanism, and it would break the little round hex part that goes around the head of the bolt. And I'd warranty them out. Well, this thing's the same thing. I mean, I don't see any reason, that the MSR stove would last any longer than this or work any better than this. Maybe it's got different fuel delivery nozzles, or maybe I don't know. I don't know what the difference would be, honestly. But I don't see spending $45 on one of those. You can get 3 of these for the cost of one of those. And yeah, I want to show you all that there are cheaper options out there, less expensive. I guess it might be considered cheaper. Actually, you know what? It's not even hot. That burner's probably hot. Burner's not even hot. Burner's not even hot. This is unedited. I did not cut anything out of this. I'm just laying my finger on this. It's not even hot. So yeah, I mean, take this thing off right now, unscrew it. Again, self-sealing container. Lose a little bit of gas. Unscrew it. Put it right back in its handy dandy little pouch. Container, not a pouch. Plastic container. Slides right back down in there. Put the top on it. Throw it right back in here. It's not even hot. So yeah, that's like I said, just wanted to show you, you don't necessarily need to spend all that. And that's my goal, is to explain to people that, and I know a lot of these guys make a ton of money on these videos showing you the latest and greatest high-end items that people send them. They don't even buy them usually, they get sent to them by people. That's why they have them. Understand that, people. I'm not knocking anybody. You guys are great. You really are. Step One Survival, I don't think I think he buys a lot of his stuff. I know he gets sent stuff from time to time. Survival on Purpose, most of that stuff's sent to him. Love the videos. He does a great job. I'm not knocking him, but we can't all do that. We don't all have 50,000 subscribers and get contacted from these companies that make this stuff and say, hey, we'll send you a free one if you do a video. Not everybody can do that. Canadian Prepper is another one. Canadian Prepper, he does a great job. Love Canadian Prepper. I love watching the videos there. I look forward to new videos coming out, but we just all can't do that. So this is geared towards people that don't have all that money. I mean, I don't have a ton of money to spend. I've got bills to pay. I've got to go to work. I work every day. That's why I can't put out videos 3 or 4 times a week or twice a week. Well, I try to do twice a week, but that doesn't always happen either. I've got stuff going on, man. I don't have time to do all that. So just keep that in mind. Thanks for watching again. Keep My Five alive. Please like and subscribe and comment. Tell me what you do and don't like. Don't forget to hit the bell so you get notifications when I put new ones out. And I really hope to hear from you in the comments, and I really hope to see you liking these videos. So keep doing what you're doing. Don't mind people that think it's weird, because one day when you need this stuff, it won't be so weird anymore. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.